Well, good evening and welcome to PM Ghana. This is where we bridge the gap between the lawmakers and the populace. And of course, my name is Reginald, and your most humble servant. And today, just as we did on Tuesday, remember I told you that we'll be bringing you further conversations on the ministerial appointment or the ministerial vetting by the Appointment Committee of Ghana's Parliament. And so today we've seen the vetting of 16 of the 16th member of parliament so far as the vetting is concerned. So, ministers, not members of parliament, the 16th minister designated for their specific ministries, and we've seen, yes, as of yesterday I indicated, that was on Tuesday, I indicated as of then there were 12. Now we've seen 16 being vetted so far, and it's interesting the turn of events. So today happens to be one of those very interesting moments, because we saw the vetting of Honorable Howard Kumsin, who is the minister designate for the Fisheries and Aquaculture Ministry, and then we also saw that of Honorable Kojo Oponkroma, who is the minister designate for information. And interesting turns we saw out there. Well, I believe that you've seen the trends on social media already, where Honorable Kojo Oponkroma is trending number one Twitter Ghana, and Howard Kumsin, Honorable Howard Kumsin, also trending there at number 2. On Twitter Ghana. Why are they trending? Well, we'll be bringing you details of this on PM Ghana tonight. I'll be speaking to Mr. Nathaniel Amankwa. He will be my guest for tonight. He's the president for the Citizen Watch Alliance Group, a think tank, or perhaps you want to call it a CSO in Ghana. We were speaking to Honorable Ben Abdallah, the former member of parliament for the Offensu South constituency, and Honorable ABA Fuseni, the member of parliament for Sagnarigu constituency, will be having their views, their positions as to how the vetting process has been so far, what they think. Today we'll be asking very pertinent questions that should bother you and I as Ghanaians here on PM Ghana tonight. One would wonder, why do we even, or why is the vetting process even being telecast in the first place? I remember, or mind you, that some CSOs have appealed to the Appointments Committee. To what extent have these the appeals gotten to, far as the vetting of these ministers is concerned? Well, we'll be finding out this and more on PM Ghana tonight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this turn.
Blue City is a manufacturing supply of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240-926-564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
Numun super na wanya pomuden. Se wo be numun so a, hwe hu ni se eye mega purified mineral water. Eye nso a yeto ni baby pa. Asaso ni so se kroje. Se wonya mega purified mineral water bogu ubu a, wo see you manumun super. Mega mineral water de edanso. Esan say the modern technology so na ye. Ede na nkabia ni atri. Mega purified mineral water. Bacteria na mhen wa berem. Eye very hygienic. Obia di one dance. Mega mineral water neatly packaged with 500 ml bottles mu. Na wani boswa na wokon donsio. Wobanya mega purified mineral water to bebia. To phone call dodo wa amount for Tipa Junction. And now for 050-7055-409 and now 055-392-1088. Mega purified mineral water. Akona kono.
Ago, good people of Ghana. Here are some safety measures on prevention of coronavirus. 1. Cover your mouth with tissue when you cough or sneeze. Dispose of tissue into a bin immediately you cough into it and wash your hands with soap under running water. Avoid shaking hands and use sanitizers as often as you can. Signs and symptoms of coronavirus include fever, cough, sneezing, and difficulty in breathing. Should you experience any of these, or for more inquiries, please contact 0558 439 868. That's 0558 439 868. Or call 0509 497 700. That's 0509 497 700.
Remember to always wash your hands with soap and running water.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, the Ghana Health Service, and partners.
Blue City is a manufacturer and supplier of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240-926-564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
Numun super na wanya pomuden. Se wo be numun so a, hwe hu ni se eye mega purified mineral water. Eye nso a yeto ni baby pa. Asaso ni so se kroje. Se wonya mega purified mineral water bogu ubu a, wo see you manumun super. Mega mineral water de edanso. Esan say the modern technology so na ye. Ede na nkabia ni atri. Mega purified mineral water. Bacteria na mhen wa berem. Eye very hygienic. Obia di one dance. Mega mineral water neatly packaged with 500 ml bottles mu. Na wani boswa na wokon donsio. Wobanya mega purified mineral water to bebia. To phone call dodo wa amount for Tipa Junction. And now for 050-7055-409 and now 055-392-1088. Mega purified mineral water. Akona kono.
Ghana punto hia me Ghana punto hia wo Ghana punto hia nyina frisa Ghana yaman na so man yi be yesu a gina me ene wo so the santi no de akoso e wo krom wo potamu epo wo fitira e twi o man yi san na emwa ye punto no asɛm hi a wɔsɛ yɛhwɛ na yɛka yɛsɛ wankasa wotiri ho a yɛyi wɔ ibɔne ne sa nti hyia me w'asɛm hia ɛdi ka dwumadie so na yɛnhwɛ nka nsɛm hia bi a ɛdi ɔman yi nya ɛfa nwoma sua ho apɔmuden ahonidie adwuma ne apadie nsɛm ho yɛman yɛnhwɛ ma ne nsɛe sansɛnsɛe a yɛtem bi one Ghana, that is all we have. If it is present, you will talk about it right here on the show. Your friend Kusi Francis, and I am the Chairman Junior.
Ago, good people of Ghana. Here are some safety measures on prevention of coronavirus. 1. Cover your mouth with tissue when you cough or sneeze. Dispose of tissue into a bin immediately you cough into it and wash your hands with soap and the running water. Avoid shaking hands and use sanitizers as often as you can. Signs and symptoms of coronavirus include fever, cough, sneezing, and difficulty in breathing. Should you experience any of these, or for more inquiries, please contact 0558 439 868. That's 0558 439 868. Or call 0509 497 700. That's 0509 497 700.
Remember to always wash your hands with soap and the running water.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, the Ghana Health Service, and partners.
Do you know that we have phenomenal influence on our various regulatory bodies? How many of these regulatory bodies do you know within the country? Are you aware you can lodge your complaints if and when you are not satisfied with a product or service? How often do you ask the relevant questions? Whom do you call when things are not rightly done? Connect with me on Regulators on Adoatv as we deliberate on the purpose of these regulatory institutions, their functions, accomplishments, and shortcomings. We ask the back-breaking questions and get the unpolished truth. Be a part of our conversations.
Supa na wanya pomuden se wo benum nsu a hwe hu se eye mega purified mineral water eye nsu a yetu ne baby pa asaso ne so se kroje se wonya mega purified mineral water bogu ubu a wo see you manum nsupa mega mineral water de edanso esan say the modern technology so na ye ede ne nkabia ne atri mega purified mineral water bacteria na mhen wa bewram eye very hygienic obia di wadanse mega mineral water neatly packaged with 500 ml bottles mu na wani bosua na wokon donsio wo benya mega purified mineral water to bebia to phone call dodo wa amount for tipa junction and now for 050 7055 409 and now 055 392 1088 mega purified mineral water akona kono.
Ago, good people of Ghana. Here are some safety measures on prevention of coronavirus. 1. Cover your mouth with tissue when you cough or sneeze. Dispose of tissue into a bin immediately you cough into it and wash your hands with soap and the running water. Avoid shaking hands and use sanitizers as often as you can. Signs and symptoms of coronavirus include fever, cough, sneezing, and difficulty in breathing. Should you experience any of these, or for more inquiries, please contact 0558 439 868. That's 0558 439 868. Or call 0509 497 700. That's 0509 497 700.
Remember to always wash your hands with soap and the running water.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, the Ghana Health Service, and partners.
Blue City is a manufacturer and supplier of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240 926 564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
Do you know that we have phenomenal influence on our various regulatory bodies? How many of these regulatory bodies do you know within the country? Are you aware you can lodge your complaints if and when you are not satisfied with a product or service? How often do you ask the relevant questions? Whom do you call when things are not rightly done? Connect with me on Regulators on Adoatv as we deliberate on the purpose of these regulatory institutions, their functions, accomplishments, and shortcomings. We ask the back-breaking questions and get the unpolished truth. Be a part of our conversations.
Supa na wanya pomuden se wo banum nso a hwe hu ni se eye mega purified mineral water eye nso a yeto ni baby pa asaso ni so se kroje se wonya mega purified mineral water bogu ubu a wo see you manum supa mega mineral water de edanso esan say the modern technology so na aye ede na nkabia ni atri mega purified mineral water bacteria na mhen wa bewrem eye very hygienic obia di wadanse mega mineral water neatly packaged with 500 ml bottles. Na wani boswa na ukon donsio wobanya mega purified mineral water to bebia to phone code dodo wa amount Frotipa Junction and now 050 7055 409 and now 055 392 1088 mega purified mineral water akona kono.
Punto here, me Ghana punto here. Ghana punto here nyina frisa Ghana yaman. Na so man yi be yesu a gina me ene wo so. The same no de akoso e wo krom. On potamu empo wo fitira e twi o man yi san na emwa ye punto no. E yasem here wo se ye hwe na ye ka. Ye se wan kasa utiri hu a. Ye yi we bone the same hia me wasem here e di kan dwumadi so. Na ye hwen kan sem here bia e di o man yi nya e fa enwuma sua ho. Apomodin ahonidie adwuma ene apadie nsam ho yaman ya nhwe ma ne sei sanse ya yetimbi one Ghana, that is all we have. If it is present, you will talk about it right here on the show. Your friend Kusi Francis and I am the Chairman Junior.
Yemi ma bi woku ma bi suolo abi te oshinle yote ni fe money ni woke ba nyegbe no wokolo sanji ni ya no woku ami kaji woku etape sando na kiti sanji holo mi agbeno ni ya no yo masate kene be ni ke wo yenyen woke pe o mini ji no no na mini ji no no nu eji sanji ni wokolo ni woke kasio ni woke wo yenga ake ale no yeje eko ya anya wo ye eko ken no e wo fata momi he na ya otele ya te ke me kpana tapta foi me strote ni woke kasio ni woke gba sandi da ju fo keso mlenyuma kefa ke ashin mlenyuma ke kome kefa ye Adoatv no te oshinle yo te mi ke bo fe ani wo twa koni e machine
Edica fuemo, voye
Well, thank you for joining us. You're watching PM Ghana here on Adoatv Television, and I told you we'll be discussing the fallouts from the ministerial vetting that is ongoing in Parliament currently. We've seen the 16 of ministers designates being vetted already, and today it was the turn of Member of Parliament for Ewutu Senya is Madam Hawa Kumsin and Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah, Member of Parliament for Ofuasi Ayerebi. Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah is the Minister Designate for Information. Honorable Hawa Komson is a Minister Designate for the Fisheries and Aquaculture Ministry. I'll be speaking to Honorable ABA Fuseni, Member of Parliament for Sanarigu constituency. Good evening, Honorable, and thanks for joining us via Zoom. Well, Honorable, we're discussing the vetting process so far. Honorable, let me ask you, what is your general overview of what has transpired amongst the appointment committee as far as the vetting of the ministers is concerned so far? Hello, Honorable. Okay, so Honorable, we can't get you through yet. Your voice seems to be lost over the network. We'll try and reconnect the lines soon so that we can have this conversation, Honorable. I'm trying to speak to Honorable ABA Fuseni, who is on the line right now. Honorable, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Honorable, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Honorable, so please go on with your submission. We lost you briefly, but you can go on with your submission.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Yes, I was just indicating that there are some appointees who have demonstrated some degree of knowledge, understanding, expertise in respect of the areas that they are being nominated. But there are some who are just clueless. Some who are demonstrating that they are bringing anything substantive or positive to the ministries to which they are being appointed. And so I think that there are those people who must be taken to task in respect of their competence to handle those ministries assigned to them. And I believe that the House will do the right and proper thing. Respective action will be taken by the appointments committee and referred to the plenary for action. And I think that those who so far have failed to demonstrate their knowledge and understanding of the ministries that they are being sent to will have to be phased out.
Well, very well, Honorable. Now, you say that some have displayed some level of incompetence amongst other things, and these have to be phased out. Honorable, before the vetting process itself of some specific minister designates, there were some appeals from some CSOs, trying to speak to their appointment or perhaps raising some allegations against these members of parliament. What was the essence, or what is the essence of these applications that people usually file against these nominees?
Yeah, I'm sure that you do recall that before Parliament actually commences to undertake the vetting of nominees, there is an appeal sent out to the general public to submit memoranda to Parliament. And so if there are petitions
Losing you, we're losing you again. We're losing you again. You're making some points, but we seem to be losing you again. Honorable, I'm going to request for a quick break so that we can see to this technical hitch. We'll be right back in a little moment. Please stay tuned. We're having a conversation with Honorable ABA Hussaini, Member of Parliament for Sanarigu constituency. He's given us his notion about the vetting process so far. You're watching PM Ghana. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this one. Stay tuned.
Supa na wanya pomuden se wo benum nso a hwe hu se eye mega purified mineral water eye nso a yetu ni baby pa asaso ne so se kroje se wonya mega purified mineral water bogu ubu a wo see you manum supa mega mineral water de edanso esan say the modern technology so na aye ede na nkabia ne atri mega purified mineral water bacteria na mhen wa bewrem eye very hygienic obia di wadanse mega mineral water neatly packaged for 500 ml bottles. Na wani boswa na ukon donsio wobanya mega purified mineral water to bebia to phone code dodowa amount Frotipa junction ana fre 05070554009 ana 05539210888 mega purified mineral water akona kono.
Ago, good people of Ghana. Here are some safety measures on prevention of coronavirus. 1. Cover your mouth with tissue when you cough or sneeze. Dispose of tissue into a bin immediately you cough into it and wash your hands with soap and the running water. Avoid shaking hands and use sanitizers as often as you can. Signs and symptoms of coronavirus include fever, cough, sneezing, and difficulty in breathing. Should you experience any of these, or for more inquiries, please contact 0558 439 868. That's 0558 439 868. Or call 0509 497 700. That's 0509 497 700.
Remember to always wash your hands with soap and the running water.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, the Ghana Health Service, and partners.
Blue City is a manufacturer and supplier of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240 926 564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
Do you know that we have phenomenal influence on our various regulatory bodies? How many of these regulatory bodies do you know within the country? Are you aware you can lodge your complaints if and when you are not satisfied with a product or service? How often do you ask the relevant questions? Whom do you call when things are not rightly done? Connect with me on Regulators on Adoatv as we deliberate on the purpose of these regulatory institutions, their functions, accomplishments, and shortcomings. We ask the back-breaking questions and get the unpolished truth. Be a part of our conversations.
Thank you for staying with us. You're watching PM Ghana here on Adoatv. We were speaking to Honorable ABA Fusaini, the Member of Parliament for the Saniregu constituency. We've been having a few hitches, technical hitches with the Zoom connection. Sometimes technology will decide not to be your friend, but I always say that no matter the situation, life must always go on, and for us this is a live show, you're bound to experience the hitches with me, and trust me, it hurts me so much if I'm not able to get you through the very service that I want to serve you with. Unfortunately, we would have to resort to phone-in interviews so that we can continue with this conversation. And so we're bridging the gap between the lawmakers and the populace. I'm speaking to Honorable ABA Fusaini. We're getting back on the line via phone-in, and we'll quickly go into the conversation. But before then, Honorable ABA Fusaini was sharing his views, or perhaps where he stands as far as the vetting is concerned, and he says that, well, for him, he realizes that some of the ministers who are being vetted do not have it going through smoothly. So we have him on the line. Honorable, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, my brother.
All right, so it's unfortunate. Zoom decided not to be our friend tonight, but it's fine. We can speak on phone. So, Honorable, apart from the appeals that CSOs make to the appointment committee regarding some specific appointed ministers, my checks seem to reveal that there are a few procedural weaknesses and some severe institutional breakdowns far as the appointment committee is concerned. Now, I'm saying this because of the time frame. When you take a look at the time that perhaps the ministers are being announced or appointed up until the time the vetting actually starts, I feel that to some extent the time space in between there is not enough, especially for the appointment committee members to gather their facts and data to be able to cross-examine these appointed ministers so far. What do you think about this?
Yes, I think you have a point there, and I think number one, like I said, I'm sure you if you follow the discussion very closely, you realize that there are even members of the appointments committee who have some complaints against the way the chairman has handled memoranda that is sent to the committee.
Exactly.
There have been some memoranda sent about some appointees that the chairman on his own so much to just dismiss without making those copies of those memoranda or information available to members of the committee. The chairman decided on himself that some of those things did not merit any dissent, and therefore dismissed them even without recourse to members of the committee. I thought that it should have been shared to the whole committee for the committee to take a decision.
Indeed.
As to whether it was meritorious going to those matters. And then two, you will see that there are even occasions where members are limited to just one or two questions. How can a whole member of an appointment committee go and sit before the committee to prove the suitability of an appointee? And have to ask only two questions. And it's just giving a small time frame, some 5 minutes or so, to do the probing. And only when it comes to leadership that they have a little bit of latitude to go further. But with the ordinary rank and members of the members of the committee, they are so constrained that even when they are asking questions, sometimes even the chairman has to intervene and say that this question is overruled. When you sit back and you realize that even this question that is being asked by the member is of critical importance to the suitability of the minister, judging whether ultimately the minister is suitable for that office. And that also is in the public interest. And it is ruled out by the chairman. There are occasions when the members of the committee try, even in spite of the chairman, to still poke, and the chairman overruled them. I'm sure that they could do better in terms of opening up the avenue for critical probing. Look, these are people who are going to take important public office. So it's important for as much time as possible to be extended to them to do a proper job. Cannot just go in the name of just vetting and do a wishy-washy job and let the people get away. I think that there are more questions on that need to be asked.
Very
more
well.
answers sought from the appointees than is currently being done. I salute the members of the appointments committee for this time endeavoring to ask more important questions than it has been before. I think that the program this time is better than it was before.
Honorable, is that to say that
the numbers are now closer? But I think that there's more room for improvement, and it should be possible for more time to be granted to members to probe deeper into some of those issues.
Is that to say that you are not entirely pleased with the line of questioning by some of the members of parliament? Or perhaps some of the members of the appointment committee?
I'm sure if you follow the listen, you find out that the questions that are mostly, the critical questions are mostly coming from the NDC side. Those on the FPP side are mostly just trying to ask leading questions, to give them the opportunity. Sometimes when even one or two of them are under pressure, then they escape. But I think that as a committee, they have a boundary duty to the good people of this country to ask the right and proper questions so that the suitability of the ministers can be determined. You can even see that a good number of them are struggling. They are not able to measure up to the weighty issues that are waiting for them at the ministry. And even elementary questions about issues at the ministry, they are struggling to deal with. And even some of them, they are still worship in the previous ministry. I'm sure you are currently hearing Madam How. Look at the manners is completely.
I thought we would have brought her up later, but since you brought her up, let's go there.
You can follow. Even matters under a purview in a former ministry. You are asked basic questions. You said one constituency $1 million a year. You are asked to give how much money was available for you to. Yeah, you cannot even answer that elementary question. You cannot even indicate on a yearly basis what was done. And when you are asked about the specific projects, about even the attitude of some people, like some CEO, I'm sure you have heard of the CEO for the Northern region, and the blatant acts of corruption is allegedly engaging in the charging of 10% and other. All those things are done so blatantly with letters written. I mean, to that effect. And these letters were written to the ministry, and then the minister comes to tell her that she was not even aware of such a blatant act of corruption. I mean, are you peddling on the truth before the committee? And take note that you are thrown an oath. You are taking an oath to tell the truth to the committee. You are either not telling that truth and living up to the oath, or you are manifestly incompetent, because it's clear. Whichever of them is not good for the nominee to be approved as a minister of state in the area that she's going. And I think there are many areas. You will see, for instance, when the Minister for Defense came, he was being asked about the issue of how come soldiers were brought into the chamber. I'm sure you remember on the 9th of January.
Yeah.
The military people who illegally invaded the chamber and wanted to wreak havoc on members of parliament. I'm sure when he was asked, he as representative of the president and the Minister of Defense, stopped to plead alibi that you didn't know who it was. And my brother, the elementary question, you didn't know who it was. And the commander of the district, you put the waiting on the commander. That commander, as we speak now, he's working free.
Well,
he has been identified. We know who he is. So if he acted illegally, he acted without orders. Can he be sanctioned? And he's working free. And you come and tell this cock and bull stories to members of parliament.
Okay, so Honorable,
not fit to be approved.
What we realize,
other people who come and they don't measure up to the test of being accountable to the good people of this country, in my opinion, should not be approved.
Well, Honorable, so what we realize from some of the submissions you've made is that the appointment committee seems to be a form of an institution that places checks and balances, or perhaps demands accountability for ministers in their previous administration. Now, I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate that the appointment committee seems to be playing this role, but how do we, as citizens, or perhaps as at the level of the ministers, or perhaps at the level of the executive arm of government, demand accountability from these ministers who have held positions for some time?
Yeah, my brother, I did indicate to you from the beginning that the public has an opportunity to submit memoranda to the appointments committee concerning members who have been nominated for all those categories of public. So if a member of the public has reason to believe that any of the nominees has compromised his office or engaged in acts of corruption or malfeasance or some untoward action that violates the law, that is an opportunity for that person to be held accountable through the information that members of the public give to the appointments committee. And that also does not preclude even finding ways of getting that information still to members of parliament, either individually or as a collective, so that they can put those questions across to the nominees. And through the members of parliament on the appointments committee too, the accountability can be exerted on behalf of the good people. Remember that members of parliament are representatives of the people. And so, on behalf of the people, they can exercise that oversight and try and bring those of nominees accountable to what actions they had undertaken in their previous appointment. Especially those who had the opportunity of being ministers before. It's important to understand what they did with that opportunity and that privilege of public office that was given them to serve. How did they discharge the functions of those offices? Did they discharge it to the expectation of the public? Were they lawfully? Would they do so lawfully? Have they been indulgent in acts of malfeasance and corruption? Those are things that need to be proved for the requisite answers to be brought, because that will have a bearing on the new ministries that they are going.
Well, Honorable, now you would agree with me that in aspects of accountability, I mean, when we look at how some of the minister designates answer or choose to address some of the questions that are posed to them, you realize the nature that some of them, tend to be moderate with the truth. Some also tend to be evasive about the questions that are being posed to them. And yes, so eventually some of their activities or their inactivities are somehow exposed through these questioning. My question, as a member of parliament, as a legislator, what happens next with all of these misgivings that are being realized in the administration, the previous administration of some of these members of ministers?
Yeah, I've said it clearly that for those who are unable to proffer the appropriate answers, and as you follow the discussion, you find that some of them say, "Oh, let me go back to the ministry and then check, and I'll get back to you." And a lot of them, there are a substantial number of them who have been unable to be square with the committee and be forthcoming with the appropriate answers. I believe that the committee must demand full answers to those questions before the fate of those people are determined. And anybody who does not cross the bar and is able to answer all the questions and furnish the committee with the requisite information that the committee is looking for must not be passed. And I think all of them must be subjected to that critical scrutiny. And those who fail to honor and answer the questions rightly and properly should not be passed. And I believe that if the committee makes the requisite recommendation, if even they don't, and take note that it is not even just putting what the committee brings to the plenary. The plenary will have an opportunity as a totality to also look at the issues of the vetting. The report of the appointments committee will be laid before the plenary on each individual nominee to be assessed. And I think that if it does come before the plenary, all of us will have an input to taking a decision regarding the nominees. And some of us are following, and we are not satisfied with the answers given by some of the nominees. And when it does come to the plenary, we are going to get up and make our voices heard. And when we are not satisfied, we will make sure that those particular people who against whom those things are outstanding will not be passed.
Right. Well, Honorable, so would you say that this sort of exposes what we have lived in for quite some number of years now? I'm speaking about what seems to be a rubber stamp system of appointments, because when you look at the previous composition of the appointments committee, we had majority within the committee, and they seem to usually do the bit of the party other than the bid of the nation. I'm saying this because these are people who seem to be this evasive, are people, most of them are people who have been appointed in the previous or under the previous administration, under the previous appointment committee, which had the majority as constitution in the appointment committee. Do you think it exposes such weaknesses?
Yeah, I'm sure clearly, because now the numbers are very close.
Exactly.
Obviously, the abuse of parliament by the executive, I think this time has been generally curtailed. Because the executive used to run away on the strength that they have a majority and a very handsome majority in the House. And so they will simply use the party line and crack the whip and make every member of the party fall in line when even critical matters of voting comes. But I'm sure on this one, they no longer have the opportunity to do that. And so the scrutiny is more rigorous. And the numbers, I can tell you now, are tighter than they have ever been. And so this time, the accountability will be more forthcoming. And that is why you are seeing even greater quality of questions being asked now.
Wow.
Than has happened before. And I think that the scrutiny will not only be tighter, but I am telling you that even when it comes to the plenary, expect more scrutiny to be undertaken by the non-members of the appointment committee who also have their turn on the floor of parliament to clear all other issues and doubts that are there. And I can tell you that many members are poised to make sure that only those who pass the bar, those who exhibit that quality to be able to be ministers of state, and those who have exhibited their actions in compliance with the law will get through. And I think that all of us as members of parliament have a duty to stand up to that test. And I want to believe that we shall stand up to that test and make sure that the right and proper thing is done. And that the seat of government as a whole will be held the fire of accountability so that the best interests of our people will be served.
All right. Well, Honorable, I want to ask you, I mean, as a member of parliament, the standing orders of the parliament indicates that a member of parliament is supposed to belong to at least one committee in parliament, if I'm right. Now,
yes.
I believe that you belong to a committee in parliament. Now, the question is, when you find yourself in a committee, what kind of bidding do you do as a member of the committee? Do you do usually the bidding of the party to which you belong, or perhaps the side to which you belong, or the interest of the nation comes at heart? Now, I'm saying this because now we see an equal split at the appointment committee, and it seems that the tougher questions are coming from the side of the NDC side in parliament, whereas the LPP side seem to be more relentful or a bit more ball gaming with their colleagues who have been appointed as minister designate. Whose bid comes into mind once you become a member of a committee?
No, I think that as a member of a committee, you are trying to ensure that you serve the best national interest. Parliament as a whole is broken into committees so that it can facilitate the speedy charge of its functions and also ensure that people develop the expertise to handle specific matters in conformity with the various spheres of national endeavor that come from Parliament. So once you are a member of a committee, your duty is to ensure that you protect the public purse, you protect the public interest, and ensure that whatever comes before the committee, you ensure that the right and proper thing is done, and that at the end of the day, the national interest is best served, and that the taxpayer is protected, due diligence is done, and that you have the appropriate questions to elicit the right answers, so that you can better improve the content of legislation and laws, and also passage of financial or other measures that come before the House. So your duty, yes, if you are a member of the ruling party, your duty is to facilitate government business. But in facilitating government business, you also have a bounding duty to protect the national interest. But often because of the party system that has been there, and sometimes they use the party whip to crack and they bring people in line. Sometimes a few things can be allowed to go. But I think that with this parliament that's on now, I believe that there will be more scrutiny. And I can tell you that things that used to pass easily will no longer pass that way.
Okay.
And that accountability will be tested. And I want to believe that the members of parliament, especially from our side, will stand up to the test and do what is right and proper for this country.
Okay, so Honorable, we are hard pressed with time right now. I will blame this partly on the technical hitches we had early on. But before we go, Honorable, can you quickly share how satisfied are you with the process so far? Do you think that let me say it in the local dialect, that some ministers would be dropped at the end of the vetting process?
You see, my brother, I can understand where you are coming from. Our people are saying that if a lion is found of patronizing the marketplace, they will treat it like a puppy. I'm sure because this thing has gone on and Parliament has not exercised the teeth to bite, I think a lot of things have been taken for granted. But I can tell you that from what is happening now, it's not going to be business as usual.
Right.
And I think that for those who really don't measure up, I think that there is a need to hold them to account and to make sure that the right and proper thing is done.
Right.
And I want to believe that not just members of the appointments committee. I want to believe that even at the level of the appointments committee, some recommendations would be that some of the nominations do not be passed. And even where they say some of the nominees should pass, and it comes to the House,
right,
the plenary, and some of us are not satisfied that they should be passed. We will make our voices heard and accordingly champion that respect. So I'm sure there will be greater scrutiny. I can say that for a fact that already the scrutiny is on, and that is to be carried to its logical conclusion.
Do you have
at the end of the day, only those who are yet to be relatively more competent, those who are yet to have been law abiding, those against whom adverse findings cannot be made, and others who are backward are those who have to hold public office as ministers of state.
Per your own stats, which of these do you think will not make it through?
No, I said I have heard a number of them. I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied with the number of them. I said the health minister.
Okay.
He created many questions, including everything at the airport.
All right.
Where they are charging this criminally prohibitive amount of $150, when other countries are charging by $15 or $20.
Right.
And he, as a minister says that he doesn't know anything about it.
Okay.
He knows nothing about the water.
All right.
Many issues about hospitals.
Wow.
That they were being built. He even said that they were building lab. Hospital was almost there. You go there and you don't find nothing going on there.
Well, no, certainly.
It's unsatisfactory.
Right.
I just indicated to you about the defense minister and about the entry of the military and the soldier who is alleged to have issued the illegal order is going to be free.
All right.
Nothing has to pay.
All right, Honorable.
The minister who even abused his power and went and bent the cheaper class of people in Tamale. I'm sure you can remember that.
Well, Honorable, I would implore that we wrap it here. So, per your own stats, Defense Minister, Health Minister, they've not done it for you. Thank you very much. All right, all right. when time permits, we will call you tomorrow on AM Ghana in the morning.
You just heard the Minister for Special Development Initiative, who is now being sensitive. Because she's not measuring up.
All right. Well, Honorable, we'll call you tomorrow morning in furtherance of this conversation. Until then, we are very grateful for your time, Honorable, this evening. We are grateful.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much. All
right. Thank you too very much. Honorable ABA Hussaini was my guest tonight, and unfortunately, we couldn't get to spend much time with him. He's a member of parliament for the Sanrigu constituency. He shared his views. To him, he feels that defense minister designate and health minister designate, you saw their performances. To them, to Honorable Hussaini, these two ministers, he mentions a lot more, should not make it through. Well, I don't know what you think, but you can share your views with me later on in the course of the show on the Facebook feed if you so wish. My name is Reginald Adi. Time is not my friend at this point, and so I'll say goodbye and a good night to you, and thanks for your patience, and thanks for spending time with me tonight on PM Ghana. I'll see you next week Tuesday for some more discussion. Stay tuned and enjoy Adoatv.
Mose. are very